Good afternoon. It is great to be here with you guys today. We're going to be talking about how we can centralize our secrets management system for our application teams without impacting their applications and causing undue risk. Also, how can we do this in a way that we can allow our platform engineering teams to manage that system? Now, before we go too far, some of the things you're going to see today and some of the demos we're going to do have not formally been released to the general public, so you're the first to see them, so thanks for coming today. Also, at tomorrow morning's keynote, applause and clap like you've seen it for the very first time, please, all right? All right, so let's get started. If you would have asked me at HashiCorp 2023, is it a good idea to centralize your secrets in one system? Sure, but there's going to be impact to your application teams. They need to rewrite their applications to point to this system. Your platform engineering teams need to support this process. Is it worth the squeeze? I'm not sure. Now, HashiCorp 2024, I would still say yes, this is a great idea. But if you'll give me a mic, 30 minutes, and a platform, I'll show you how we can do it and minimize that risk and eliminate any undue support by our platform engineering teams. So while we're talking about secrets, we've all got secrets. We've got secrets in our databases, in our API keys, connection strings. We've got secrets held in a CSV file we don't want to talk about. We've got secrets in AWS Secrets Manager, Azure Key Vault, GitHub Variables, and Azure DevOps. This is the definition of secret sprawl, right? And what we want to do is onboard our application teams into one centralized secrets management system so we have a source of truth for our cyber team to point at. We need to ensure that access on that system is minimized to just the proper access so that services are only accessing their application secrets and we don't have a sprawled access pattern, which we typically begin to see over time. We need to ensure that our systems and our applications can integrate with this systems management platform in a way that's not disruptive to their current day-to-day activity. And lastly, our application teams still need to manage those secrets. They still need to create, revoke, renew, and retire those secrets at some point in the future. And we've got to make this easy for them. Before we go too far, I'm Jeremy Myers. I've been at GM Financial. I've been in the IT industry about 20 years, 10 years using the Hashi suite of products, starting with Vault and Terraform on-prem, moving to HCP Terraform and Vault, using Packer and Waypoint as well now. So, back to secrets. Let's just clarify secrets. They are sensitive information to our business, right? They're critical for our applications to use and connect with other services. They're necessary. We can't get rid of them. With workload identity federation, some of that goes away, but generally speaking, we won't fully eliminate it probably anytime soon. So, these secrets should not be shared. Application A, application B. If B is compromised, it should not impact our application A due to the credentials being invalidated. Whatever we do today should be easy. It should be easy for our application teams to onboard, it should be easy for them to manage, and it should be easy for our platform teams to manage long-term as well. So let's get to using HCP Waypoint for our automation to do so, and let's use Vault Secrets as our source of truth in secrets management. We'll leverage Waypoint for the automation. It's build to fit. We'll use Terraform no-code modules to do this, and we'll leverage different types of templates within there to roll out our HCP Vault Secrets. Why Vault Secrets? It's serverless. We don't need additional headcount to support infrastructure. We don't need to patch it or version it. We don't need to do anything other than stand it up and enable it and get our teams in there. It's ready on day one. We have granular IAM access controls, which is being rolled out today. And we're also looking at 3 different types of secrets, one of which is new, but you're probably familiar with if you're using Vault Dedicated. And lastly, audit and logging for our security folks in the room. This is big. But for those who don't know Waypoint, Waypoint has 3 primary capabilities. Templates. Templates are the core underlying infrastructure that build applications. Remember that. Templates build applications. This is your core piece of infrastructure. Next are add-ons. Add-ons enhance an application. And add-ons will be added to an existing application. And lastly are actions. Actions are custom builds, scripts, API calls, whatever it might be. We saw Armand do some of this morning. But these operate and maintain this application. Now for today's purpose, I primarily use templates and add-ons. I could have leveraged actions. It just didn't fit in the time. So I'll point that out when we get to it. Why HCP Vault secret capabilities? Well, first off, it handles 3 of the most common types of secrets. Static, think key value pairs, simple, straightforward, we all know them. Next is auto-rotating. You guessed it, 30, 60, 90 days, auto-rotate, up to 50 versions, and up to 2 active at any given time. This matters, why? Because an application that's currently running, we cannot retire the secrets it's actively using. So we create a second version and allow the application to refresh, reboot, restart, recycle, whatever it might be, and recache those credentials at a time that's convenient for them, perhaps a change window. Next are the secrets sync. This is the key piece you want to pay attention to. We can sync those secrets from our Cloud Secrets app down into one-way push, not bidirectional, one-way push down into our native Cloud Secrets management systems. Things like Azure Key Vault, Secrets Manager, GCP, you can read, you can see it. I left one off. Terraform Cloud variables are also in this list. We can push credentials from the Vault Secrets app into our Terraform Cloud credentials, which I actually leveraged today, but I left it off. And lastly are the feature set. It's serverless. Again, we don't want to be patching OS anymore. This is not fun. It's not something we enjoy spending our time on any longer. Multi-tenant. Secrets apps allows for API calls, CLI calls, Terraform resource data calls or resource calls also. So you can call it from anywhere. Next is workload identity federation. Again, we've solved the secret 0 problem before it existed here today. And lastly are the refined IAM access controls. I'll grant your application access to your apps, and the next application will only have access to their apps. There won't be any cross-contamination of sharing secrets. So let's put on my platform engineering hat today. I like to build everything as code so that it's repeatable, and it also ensures that it's consistent and that my peers can deploy it tomorrow as well, or while I'm at HashiCorp, and they get the same result that as if I was in the office. Great. We need this to be on demand as well, by the way. So what does it look like? I'm a platform engineer. I'm going to build a little Terraform no-code module because that's a requirement for templates. And if you're not familiar with no-code modules, then it means you have a provider block. We don't typically put provider blocks in our modules, or you shouldn't be. And so that means we need to provide credentials for that module. We need to give it a way to authenticate to whatever system it's calling. I'll push that module up into my Git repository. I'll connect it to my HCP Terraform registry and designate it as a no-code ready module. At that point, I can connect Waypoint into my HCP registry and tell it which no-code module to leverage for that template. Today, we'll be generating HCP projects, HCP secrets apps, and also injecting secrets into that app, all using templates. So what does it look like? In our registry, here we are. We've got a no-code ready indicator by a cool little rocket ship, which I love, and I've got 3 of them. So I've got one for projects, secrets apps, and secrets themselves. What does the project template look like? This is simple stuff. You've probably all seen it before. I'll create the HCP project. I'll generate a service principal that has admin so that it can generate other service principals in the future, and secrets app manager so it can generate secrets apps. Also generate a key. Remember, we're working with a no-code module that needs credentials to be supplied to it. So over in my HCP Terraform Cloud, I'll generate a project, I'll generate a variable set, and associate that variable set to the project. This template will spin up workspaces within this project that leverage the credentials assigned to it. So we don't need to worry about the application team supplying those credentials or storing them anywhere other than in a secure place like the Terraform variables. That's next. Let's add those credentials in there. We got client ID and client secret. Pretty straightforward. Let's flip over to Waypoint. We need to connect Waypoint to our HCP Terraform registry. So we do so here. We connect the connector, and we tell it how to build a template for HCP projects. And if you're looking real close, you'll see that's actually Vault Secrets. Wrong one, sorry. But it's the HCP project that we're creating here. And at the end of the day, what we end up with is an HCP project. Now, Vault Secrets, on the other hand, will spin up our Vault Secret app inside the project we just created. We'll then create two service principals. Remember, refined IAM access controls, two service principals. One with reader access for our application teams to use, and one with manager access to create those secrets and manage them, rotate them, revoke them, whatever it might be. We'll generate our SPN key, and again, we'll generate another Terraform project with variable sets and connect those. We'll generate the variables within the variable set with our client ID and secret. And lastly is generating secrets within the secrets app. We can use Terraform to do this. I'll show you how we do it in the portal as well. But here's Terraform to create a static secret as well as a dynamic and auto-rotating secret with AWS IAM credentials and role ARN. Pretty straightforward stuff, pretty easy. I don't recommend you ClickOps this because we like things as no code, but here's how we'd create a template in the portal if we were going to. We give it a template name. This needs to be URL specific because we can trigger it from the API technically, so it needs to be capable to be handled at the URL level. We'll give it a summary name for our application teams to know what this thing does, and we'll choose which Terraform module to point it at. Remember, these are no-code modules, and so if they are not designated as a no-code module, it won't appear here. We'll tell it which Terraform cloud project to leverage, which variables need to be filled out by our application teams, and which ones we will pre-fill. We say next, give it a very lengthy description to fully describe what we're doing here for our application teams. Control V. And then because we're all good platform engineers and we write good readmes, we'll import that, and we will give it a tag because we tag everything. We'll say publish. We now have a template that our application teams can leverage, and we can see the resources it will generate. It is ready to go. So let's switch hats. You're the application team now, and you hear that we're centralizing our secrets. Your requirements and objectives are make it self-service, make it easy for me to onboard when I'm ready. I don't want any additional overhead of submitting tickets or waiting on other application or platform teams to do the work for me. I want to do it myself. Next, I want to leverage my existing services. If I'm using Azure Key Vault today for my application to get secrets from, I want to continue to do that. I don't want to change my app code. If I'm using GitHub variables for my pipeline, I want to continue to do so. I don't want to move the cheese, if you will. And lastly, I want to integrate my existing processes around my CI/CD pipelines and ensure that they still have access to the variables that they are supposed to. So how do we do it? Application team comes in. They use Waypoint automation to generate the HCP project and the Vault Secrets app and inject secrets. They come around in the afternoon, and they can use Terraform to leverage those secrets, or from their app code, they can get to those secrets through files or integration syncs, which we'll look at here in just a bit. Diving into that just a bit more, using Waypoint to generate a project, they'll then the output of that will be an HCP project, and as a result, they'll get a service principal that we looked at that has access to create other service principals and secrets apps. Now, real life, what does it look like for them? They'll go in and create an application based on the template that our platform engineering team deployed. They'll say next. They'll give this an app name. This is a Waypoint app name that will appear within the Waypoint portal. They give it a description and tell it which project within HCP that they can leverage. This could be a dropdown. You can supply predetermined variables and provide a dropdown if you wanted to. We'll give it just a few seconds to run here, and that's all it takes because this is self-service and it's easy. We've already built the underlying infrastructure behind the scenes in Terraform, and so all it's doing is generating a workspace, running the Terraform plan and apply for the app team, and spinning up these resources for them. At the end of it, which should be very soon, we have outputs coming, and what we'll have is an HCP project with a service principal associated with it. So that didn't take too long there. What we end up getting is a project called Sales Department with service principals inside of it, scoped to our Sales Department HCP project. Remember, refined IAM access controls here. We have our secrets that we created over in Terraform that exist now for our application teams to use. Next, they need to create an HCP Vault Secrets app, and we'll use a template to do that as well. We'll generate 2 service principals doing this. So what does that look like? Again, they'll use a template, say create Vault Secret app, and give it a Waypoint app name here. We'll tell it which app to leverage. It'll be the sales web UI that we'll create, and we'll give it a description to indicate which Vault Secrets app it is for. They'll say create application, and we'll wait just a few moments, and what we'll have are many resources now. Within the HCP project that we generated earlier, we'll have a Vault Secrets app, 2 service principals, and credentials that will allow us to add secrets to that Vault Secrets app. There it is, success. What do we have? We've got our project in the upper left-hand corner for a sales department. We have a new sales web UI Vault Secrets app, and we have 2 service principals with the appropriate level of access. Now they need to inject secrets. They can use Terraform to do that, as I showed you earlier, or they can use the HCP CLI. And what we're going to see here on the HCP CLI is that I generate the same secret twice. We'll see the versions begin to increment here. So version 1 was created above, and now we have a latest version 2 as well. This is great. But let's see how they can do that within the portal. Again, this is an add-on. Remember, an add-on enhances an application. So our existing application was our sales web UI. We'll go to add-ons and we'll install an add-on. This is our secret. We'll give it a secret name and value. Fairly straightforward here. And these would be your static credentials, right? These are your static sources of truth here that we need to enter into the secrets app. There we go. We click install. And we wait patiently for it to finish installing that. And what's occurring in the background is this module is leveraging the existing credentials that we built out within our HCP project to access that specific Vault Secrets app to inject those secrets. Now this doesn't take too long, but once it's done, we'll rotate screens and we'll flip over to our Vault Secrets app and see that we do in fact have a new secret that was generated by this process. So once that's done, we'll flip over to Vault Secrets app. We'll do a little refresh of the screen to ensure that we get all of our latest secrets showing. And we do, in fact, get a secret for our HashiCorp key. And we can see that secret does exist, it is accurate, and it is in its place. And that's how our application teams can onboard themselves into leveraging the new secrets app to get their secrets up to par and in the centralized system. Now, auto-rotating and dynamic secrets. Some of you might want to pay attention here. These are very common scenarios on Vault Dedicated, but they're new to Vault Secrets app. So auto-rotating here, our first one, we're just going to do a read of our dynamic credential we have in the background. This is called an AWS using a role-arn to generate my credentials. For all you ethical hackers, I've already revoked the tokens. There's no need to go and try. Okay. What we'll see here is that we generated credentials on the fly. We dynamically got them and generated them. Now, how about rotating? I have a rotating secret now. I'm on version 4, and I'm going to go ahead and trigger the rotation of that. We can see that it successfully triggered the rotation in Vault Secrets app. I can have many versions, up to 50. In this case, I got impatient. It's still on latest version 4, so we'll try it again after patiently waiting. And perhaps we'll see version 5. There we go. How about that? Now, how do we know that it actually rotated that? Because I have a sync going in the background that needs to sync it to AWS Secrets Manager. Let's take a look at the access key was HS4M, is the latest for version 5. Cool. Let's flip over to AWS Secrets Manager and see if it did, in fact, copy that. Oh, that's just, never mind. We haven't looked at that yet. So let's talk about file secrets sync, actually. We're going to sync those secrets from our Vault Secrets app after we rotate them into these different systems. And this is where we're not moving the cheese for our application teams, right? We're going to ensure that they can continue to leverage the applications and native services that they have been until today. In Terraform variables or AWS Secrets Manager, or your Kubernetes secrets operator as well, we can inject those secrets into those services so that your application continues to leverage native cloud services and leveraging the IAM policies and capabilities within those clouds. Now, there's a tricky one with Azure DevOps. If you're familiar with that, we can't inject directly to those, but we can inject into an Azure Key Vault, and your Azure DevOps will connect to a Key Vault. We make it there. Now, if your system isn't listed here, that's okay. We have HPC CLI. We can always make the call, as we saw, to read the secret, rotate the secret, and then inject it over to whatever third-party system you may be using, so it still will work. Let's see that in action, as I mentioned earlier. So we'll look back at our read of a rotate, and we'll see that we're on version 6 this time. And we will instantiate the refresh update of that secret. It fully went. I'm a little more patient, I believe, this time, and I wait just long enough for it to rotate, and we get a version 7 this time, and we'll see that it is actually an AWS secret key or access key of what? Let's look. We'll open it up and see that it ends in 2CV6. It is version 7. Let's flip over to our AWS Secrets Manager and verify that did in fact get synced. There it is, 2C v6. Our secrets are now syncing from Azure, not from Azure, but from our Secrets app down into our AWS Secrets Manager, where our applications, Lambdas, EC2s, whatever it might be, can leverage those. So that's a good thing. We haven't forgot about our security team, though. We need to ensure that our security team has visibility into everything and understands what's happening on our secrets management platform. They want logs, they want audit trails for compliance, and most of all, they need to know the who, what, when, where, and how. Well, we haven't forgot about you. We now have audit logging now on the Vault Secrets app. We can tell what was going on, and we can tell who and when it happened. And starting at the bottom, we can see that I created the Vault Secrets app using my service principal using Terraform. That's pretty cool. Next, I went into the UI because I was lazy, and I created the Vault Secrets sync and generated a secret and forced that sync down into the Sales Web UI that we created. I then attempted to go from the CLI and access that secret. I was successful and attempted to access a second secret, which I didn't have access to, and that failed. And we can export all of these logs to Splunk, Datadog, and AWS CloudWatch, so the endpoint can be whatever SIEM system that you are using. So this is good. And lastly, our granular access controls for our security folks. You need to ensure that we're only accessing the secrets that we were meant to access. And we can see here the Vault Secrets App Manager has project level, which is denoted by the cool little notepad icon, and it has admin access in Vault Secrets App Manager. While the Sales Web UI Reader and Manager only have access to the Vault Secrets app that they are designated access to. So good refined IAM access controls here. Let's circle back to the beginning here. We said secrets were sensitive and they're necessary, and we need to ensure that they're not shared. We leverage Vault Secrets app to do all those things by ensuring that they're secured and they're separated within our apps. We also said it needed to be easy. We've made this easy using HCP Waypoint automations for our application teams to onboard with. Our platform engineering teams are already writing Terraform, so they can write our no-code modules for us, and it's easy for them to support. And we've leveraged a common HCP Terraform platform that we're already using for registry anyways. I hope you learned something today. I hope that you'll take a look into these services, and if you have any questions, let me know. I'll hang around the back. And if you want to connect on LinkedIn, there's my QR code. And we all need a good paired programmer, but mine's a little bit more lazy than most. So thanks for coming today.